This is the iPhone 16 Pro, and this is the Ghost 2.0 from dbrand. I mean, actually, this is just the box because I've been using the case for 7 days. So let's talk about that. So this is actually the Ghost 2.0 from dbrand. So if you're not familiar, about a year or two ago, dbrand released the first version of this case. That scratched way too easily, so they ended up just scrapping it completely and promising to fix it and ship everyone that ordered the first case this new and improved case. I've been using this case for the last 7 days, and I haven't been going easy on it, and I've also dropped my phone a couple times with it in it. So in this video, we'll talk about how it's been and take a close look to see if it's scratched at all. So let's switch this over to black since that's way easier to see scratches with. Taking a close look at the case, there are no big scratches that I can see. There's only one super faint scratch right around here, but it's pretty much impossible to see. It's also totally on me, since I grabbed my phone and dragged it along a table that definitely wasn't the cleanest. So as far as scratch resistant goes, I would give this an A+. Here's a look at the camera control button on the inside of the case. There's no film covering this, but at this point, I'm not really concerned about these buttons scratching the actual sapphire glass button of your phone. You can let me know in the comments if you've had that issue, but I've been trying multiple cases and I haven't had that experience yet. Another big improvement in the second version of this case is that the MagSafe ring here is now flat and embedded into the case itself. On the first version, this stuck out a little bit, and it made sticking MagSafe accessories a little weird. Let's get the phone in the case. All right, let's get back to a lighter background. Something I've been really happy to see is that putting my phone in and out of this case hasn't scratched the clear protective layer. On the first version of the dbrand Ghost, that was one of the main ways that the case ended up being scratched, so I'm glad to see that they fixed that. On top of saying that this case is scratch resistant, dbrand is also saying this case won't yellow. So, I mean, we could toss this in some coffee and find out, but at this point I might take their word for it. Let me know if you'd like to see that happen though. Aside from the usual places where a case will be loose, this case fits super snug and super tight. Each corner of the case has a little extra material to help with drop protection. Having dropped this case once or twice already, I can tell you that it's definitely doing its job. And I don't even have any marks from where the drop happened. Looking around the case, you'll see this grip pattern. It's definitely doing its job to help give you confidence holding onto the case, and isn't too rough of a texture to make this uncomfortable to hold. Here's a look at your volume buttons and your action button. These are all semi-detached and have good clickability. It's nice that they're trying to make the volume buttons different than the action button, but in the dark, I still can't tell which is which. Here's a look at the right side of the case with your side button and your camera control button. I would say this is probably one of my favorite camera control button designs because they've managed to incorporate the design of these side grips into the design of the button. The good news too is that this button works really well. It's worth pointing out that this button does shift back and forth a little bit, but for me, I mostly just use this to launch the camera, so not a huge deal breaker for me. The MagSafe strength in this case is exceptional. It's not the strongest MagSafe case I've used, but it is definitely in the top 3. I'm not even sure that this would come off of a car mount if you were hitting speed bumps way faster than you should be. Looking at the front, there's enough lip here to keep your screen from being scratched across surfaces. Since dbrand sells screen protectors, my gut tells me that this would still be okay with a screen protector. You do get protection for your camera lenses at the back here. Something I would like to see here for the future is a different material for the ring itself. I personally prefer a camera ring that has a hard rubber coating, so that if you drop your phone on its back, there's less of a chance of it breaking this camera ring. And here's a look at the bottom. The cutouts are nice and precise, and you have plenty of space here for most charging cables. If I had to point out one major con, it would be that this is a gloss back on a clear case, which can tend to get a little bit greasy. So maybe in the future we'll see a matte finish from dbrand. I think that would be awesome. This is also a bit more of an expensive case. So if you like how it looks and you like what it offers, I think you can go in with confidence knowing that dbrand has sorted out all the issues from the previous model. Over the last 7 days, I've really loved using this case. It's nice to use a case that has a clear back I know won't scratch super easily. I hope you've appreciated taking a look at the Ghost 2.0 for the iPhone 16 Pro. If you'd like to buy one, I'll put a link in the description. Thanks for spending your time with me. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you again.